Yay.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends, we are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma, the ophthalmologist of optimism. She's the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. We are the best friends in all the land. We are the heel marks, and this is Mark of Honor, the best Ring of Honor post show out there. Once again, I do believe it is the only Ring of Honor post show out there, but that makes it just as easy for us to be the best. That's what we're doing here, right, Danielle? We're talking about Ring of Honor.
Talking about wrestling.
Lots of wrestling. We do it right after the show. One could call it an after show.
We're a post show.
Because we do it
post show.
Right.
We post after said show.
What'd you think about this show?
I liked it. I'm trying to be more optimistic about ROH because I love the wrestlers on there. I love watching them every week. I just wish there was a little more of structure in the sense of storytelling.
Right.
And I wish there was more variety because I feel like I'm consistently seeing the same wrestlers wrestle each other and there's no movement from it. Or if I'm seeing these wrestlers consistently wrestling each other, I'm seeing wrestlers just wrestling random people and no storylines really coming from it. There's only one or two storylines that I can think of off of the top of my head. And it's a little frustrating.
Well, I'll give you a story that's being told that's coming right off the top of my head. Let's talk about your boy, Ethan Page. That's right, Danielle's favorite Ring of Honor wrestler cut a fairly inspiring promo backstage. I'd say it was a damn great promo. Case in point, he has went ahead and he has pulled out the babyface handbook and he has reached to page 717 where it states, if you incorporate your children, pure instant babyface.
You mean the minute you incorporate your children, you lose Danielle's interest?
Well, sure. I mean, Danielle eats children, and
I definitely don't eat children. Everyone, that's inaccurate.
But no, Ethan Page he was sporting some new gear. Apparently, this is custom made by his daughter, or at the very least, the colors were chosen by his daughter, purple and pink, her favorite colors. He is wearing these colors. He is wearing this fit from now until the day that he becomes champion. We don't know if that championship will be the television championship, but that is certainly the champion he's challenging right now. But this story he's been telling us about, he is rehabbing himself in Ring of Honor. He is coming for the gold, has now taken a new twist as it appears to be inspired by his daughter.
I'm going to fall asleep by everything you just said. Yeah, I'm not feeling this. I don't like this whole thing with the daughter. But so he's going to wear the purple and pink until he becomes champion and then he's going to change it. What a smack in the face for his daughter. He's going to be like, no. Oh, I'm champ now.
Obviously, she'll have the say of what the post-championship gear will be.
If Ethan Page becomes champ and then he changes the belt to pink and purple, I will die. Then I will completely be on board for this because that would be hilarious and amazing.
See, the funny thing is, I think there are plenty of people that actually bought in and are okay with this because the promo was fire. However, if he does change the championship to pink and purple, they would abandon ship just as fast. So
they would jump on ship immediately and they would join and be pirates and ahoy matey. I don't know. I was trying to keep with the ship team.
Pirates wear purple and pink. I was like, how does that?
Why not?
I'm just.
I feel like pirates definitely wear purple because purple's like a regal color. It's
But it would be
royalty.
like a specific brand of purple. Like it would be like Cat Williams purple, not like
Or
Prince purple.
royal purple. Arr, I messed that up. Sorry. I tried to say something
Anyway,
with an R and I failed.
I like the promo. Ethan Page is one of my favorite guys on the mic.
Oh,
And
100%.
so even when there were times, and there were times where he went a little too deep into, the I'm a dad, she's my kid, and I'm gonna win it for her. Daddy needs to stop coming home empty-handed. But then he would like snap back into all ego Ethan Page and really turn it up. And that's where he gets me, and that's where he'll get me every time. And he also had a match tonight. Ethan Page defeating Slim J.
Do you like Slim J?
Okay, you ask me that every time. I'm starting to think that you don't pay attention to my answers.
Oh, 100% I don't.
Okay, so in that case, in my opinion, with this match, I think like on one hand, I love it. On the other hand, Ethan Page is almost starting to feel too big to me for this show. Like
Yeah.
I remember when he came to the show, he was like, "I need ROH." So I can get back to the top. But like within a month or two, I was kind of like, all right, ROH needs Ethan Page because Ethan Page has everything they need.
Yeah, Ethan Page has everything to offer for a wrestler. He's good on the mic, he's good in the ring, he's got charisma, he's not too bad on the eyes now. So like he has everything there is to offer. So it's weird to have him doing this to go for the title. But I do appreciate that he's trying to have that title have meaning, and he's really like building himself while building how important this title is.
Yeah, and in doing that, and in the promo that we talked about, he did mention that this match with Slim J meant something, that every match he has means something because he's not guaranteed that title shot. Nobody has said, hey, Ethan, you called out the champ, so get ready, it's coming up. No, the champ, I don't even think has acknowledged the challenge yet. So yeah, like I think at this point he put this match over as something super significant, and the match lived up to that, in my opinion. I think Slim J really did make it competitive enough to live up to that. The fact is, this match can't really mean something to Ethan Page if it's easy, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. It can't be
Slim
easy.
J made him work for it.
He definitely did. And yeah, he can't just be fed jobbers and have it go that way. It can't be that way. It has to be a competition. It has to be tough for him. That way when he gets the title, if he gets the title, I'm going to say when, I'm being optimistic. It'll mean something so much more because he really built his character and went through all the trials and stipulations to get it.
And he has had meaningful wins coming up to this, where he faced against Johnny TV and Tony Nese. So Slim J is now in good company with that. Speaking of a good company, thank you to everyone tuning in. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure to go over and support BodySlam.net every single way you can, including a donation to Super Chat. Head over there at slamchats.com. Support the network of BodySlam.
Do it.
Speaking of supporting the network, Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose.
She's fantastic.
She's trying to take over. I love how she has Lexi as like her own private minion, even though Lexi's so unwilling, just not consenting to this at all.
The real MVP of ROH is Lexi. Lexi's one of my favorite people to watch on ROH. Yeah, anytime she appears, I know it's going to be gold.
And she has chemistry with everyone.
Everybody. She's so good at keeping her composure during interviews. She's so good at everything. Her delivery, it doesn't seem forced. It comes off completely natural. I love it.
They have to try to break her too. Like a lot of these, like Nyla and Dalton, like, and even Johnny TV, like you could tell that they're trying to break her, and she does a pretty good job holding it together, especially considering it's not like she just has to react and not break. She has to like also play along because they're really incorporating her.
I would love to see Nyla and Dalton Castle team up, or Nyla get Dalton to fix him.
What about Lexi and Renee somehow in a segment together?
Doing what? Just interviewing back and forth?
It could be. Never
fighting?
know. I don't know.
Fighting with microphones?
Maybe they're just doing like a pre-show, talking about a pay-per-view.
Oh, that'd be fun. Like in the beginning. Oh yeah, like a little
I don't know
I
why
want
you
them to.
hate of fighting.
I mean, it is a wrestling show, so immediately I think of fighting.
I guess.
You're like, get them together. It's like when like people say two people and you're like, oh, they should date, and it's like, no, they shouldn't date. I just
Right.
what about or like immediately when like two people of color are together, they're immediately like, make them tag champs, and it's like, why? Stop that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I am a fan of the recent idea that's been floating around that Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair should become
Yeah,
tag
but
champions.
that's not because they're people of color. That's because they're women who are super fucking strong, and it would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and they're
As
both
well,
just
yeah,
super needle movers. Like,
powerhouses. Right.
that's a kind of different conversation for a different show, though.
Different time. Different time.
You know what is always a good time for titty time, which brings us to the Iron Savages.
I can't get enough of these guys.
Yeah, versus the makeshift 3-man tag of KM, Brandon Hunter, and John Cruz. And yeah, I'm with you. Dirty Savages. I mean, I'm sorry, the Iron Savages.
Dirty Savages.
Well, let's be honest.
That's something that will get you canceled, Brady.
These are some dirty Iron Savages. Listen, we got Dirty Bulk Bronson. So we got Sauce Hoss, Beefcake Boulder, and Jack Jameson.
I wish they would change their names. I am not a fan of their names. Too much.
Well, for the record, that's not how they're announced.
I know.
These are their nicknames that they go by on Twitter, and I'm just over here reciting them every week because I think they're fucking hilarious.
You're just appreciating them. I like Sauce Hoss. That's my favorite.
Exactly. Yeah. Jack Jameson was touted by commentary as the MVP of this match, and I don't disagree with him. And
I don't disagree at all.
I love it too. Because it's almost like they made it like it was a surprise. Like we didn't know Jack could go as well. Mainly because he does most of the mic work. A lot of times we only see the Iron Savages in a 2-person tag team match, and he's doing commentary or he's just managing from the sidelines. So I guess it is easy to forget that Jack Jameson can go. So I do appreciate matches like this where he gets to get his shine on.
Yeah, of course. Anytime there is 3, you always want them to be able to present all 3 of them as strong competitors. And it's nice to have someone who you normally don't get to see as often shine, especially in a match like this where there's so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that finisher, the sauce toss.
I just like saying the sauce toss. Sauce Hoss's sauce toss. That could be like his hot sauce. If he made hot sauce, that could be a name of it.
The spaghetti, right? the sauce is yours, but the
sauce Hoss's sauce Hoss sauce toss. I feel like that would be at like a state fair.
Yeah, like a family reunion of like 500
Step up here,
people.
we're doing the sauce Hoss sauce toss.
I don't know why you keep tongue twisting yourself. Like you're like challenging yourself.
You know why? Because like, I'm reading it and I'm like afraid I'm gonna mess it up, and I'm like, I'm saying it correctly, right? Because I have a very bad habit of saying things wrong. So I'm trying to make sure I say it nice and slow.
This seems like a challenge for people that are trying to improve their speech. They would just
this
like
was definitely me.
They would just say this over and over and over again.
Yeah, I fail miserably. I don't know why I tried to do that. But that's where it's gonna be, at a state fair.
But to your earlier point about ROH and things it can be doing better, the Iron Savages are a team that like I do think we're past the point of just having them in matches. It seems like they either put them in matches like this against kind of local talent or even just traveling jobbers, and we get to we get to go to Teddy City and we get to enjoy the Iron Savages in all their glory, or they get a match versus the tag champs or a more capable tag, a contender, if you will, and they lose that match. And it's like, that's the only time we get the Iron Savages. So they put them in like a 4-team tag match and same thing. But it's like, I'm ready to see a feud. I'm ready to see a program. Yeah. I'm ready to see the opposite of them. I'm ready to see how about the Righteous?
Yeah.
With the Righteous, with an actual feud with the Righteous and the Iron Savages. Why not?
And I feel like you could do a lot with that. Like the Righteous is supposed to be what? They're supposed to be like evangelical kind of, and probably like and all that, and then the
But then
Iron
walk
Savages.
around carrying a weapon that they beat people with, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
So it's
then
like,
the Iron Savages talking about Titty City, like that's the epitome. Like they could feud over that or something, like, they're being disgraceful or something, like something along those lines. I need a
it'd be
feud. I just
it'd be like a modern day right to censor versus like APA,
yeah.
right? Like that type of feud would be a nice throwback. It'd be fun to see these guys work both in the ring and backstage in terms of the segments that they do. Lexi could get some fun interview segments with both teams.
Right. We
Like,
know they can talk. We know they can talk. We know they can wrestle. Put it into work. We don't have to watch them wrestle jobbers all the time or just wrestle with no meaning.
and
Like put them in a feud.
for the record, that pitch of Righteous versus Iron Savages, not in my notes, literally did just come up with it. If I
Well, you're
looked
very
at
smart.
when I'm just saying, if I looked at the ROH tag roster, I could probably find at least a few more that would fit just as well because the ROH tag
Mhm.
team roster is deep.
Oh, I
It
like the
is.
ROH tag team
How
roster
about
a lot.
Butcher? How about, hey Danielle? How about Butcher and Blade versus
Fuck
the Iron
yes.
Savages?
Oh yeah.
We've
Butcher
seen
and
them
Blade
on
are so old school. Butcher and Blade are very old school. They take it seriously. It's kind of like, FTR. They're very serious. They're very, old school wrestling. And here we go. Because I think Titty City could play a lot into people not liking them and starting a feud, being like, you're not taking this seriously, you're being silly, and this is ridiculous, and that's not what
Yeah.
wrestling's about. It's about this. It's a great way to start a feud.
Yeah. There's just so much to play with, and I hope we get more from it, because until we do, until they start getting regular backstage segments on the same show that they have a match, and until they start getting an actual team or stable that they can play back and forth with in a feud, then it's clear as day that people making the decisions just don't know what they have with the Iron Savages, which is bizarre since they've had them since the pandemic as Bear Country.
Right. Right.
So
They've had them
like
this long,
they completely hit the reset button, gave you something fresh, something new. It's
and they
getting
rolled with
over.
it.
It's
Yeah.
hitting. So yeah, at this point I'm ready to see more, but I'm also ready to see more from the Righteous, which I did mention. They had a match with the Infantry. I don't know what it was, something about the entrance that it was almost like I saw a new Infantry this week.
Yeah.
Trisha Dora in that entrance popping, just they stood out from the second they came out. I don't know what was different. I can't put my finger on it, but just it was a whole new energy from the Infantry. Maybe it was they introduced him as the new and improved Carly Bravo. I don't know if that's been going on or if that's just the first time I noticed it. But that was something interesting.
I really like these kind of stables where it has like the men and then there's a woman thrown in there or other way around. I really think it works well because these men hype up these women when they come out and do single matches or when they're doing anything. These women hype up them. I think it's such a good fit to get time on the wrestlers. Like we said, we always say like stables are always helpful for wrestlers to get them extra time, even if it is them just coming down to the ring and cheering on part of their stable or in a backstage segment with them helping or a run-in or anything little simple like that just to get them some airtime.
Yeah, 100%. It's just it's clutch things like that, and and that's why I've always been a fan of stables or even a fan of intergender pairings.
Oh,
Because
intergender pairing, definitely, yeah.
it gets if a female gets on it doesn't have a match, but her male counterpart does, and then boom, she's on the show, and she can find ways to maximize those minutes and stand out, and vice versa. I used to always love when Victoria was women's champion, and she was getting Stevie Richards on the show every week. Like,
Yeah.
there's something to that. I've always thought the Righteous kind of was missing a female, to be honest. Like, I like
Yo,
some.
what would be really funny for them to throw in, I don't know why this just popped in my head, is Abaddon.
Whoa.
Because like Abaddon means, remember I told you it means like destroyed. Oh shit, I forgot what it means like exactly. Damn it, I wish I remembered because it just popped in my head. But like throwing someone like her who is chaos and like the definition of chaos and like almost like hell and like what they don't represent, throwing her in there like they're trying to save her and that's why she's following them around because they're trying to save her. It'd be such a good fucking story.
That's an interesting one. That's a
Yeah, I think
really fun one.
yeah, because they're trying to save her because man, I'm so mad at myself that I can't remember what it means. I'm so annoyed.
I
Like
could
the
see
actual definition.
I could see Robin Renegade maybe getting paired with that, or like I don't know.
So my thing with her that I know you like about her, I, I think she talks too much.
Right,
And
but
that sounds
right.
so bad for them, but I think it would be, I don't know.
So I get what you're saying, but here's why that doesn't bother me with her. It's because I can tell that she's still new. She still knows what her strengths and weaknesses are. And when they put her in the ring with these veterans of close to 10 years, she knows she can't hang yet, but she knows what she can bring to the table, and that's a character. And so and also, and it gets quoted all the time by guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Who's It's and What's It's. But Stone Cold Steve Austin once said the best way to make it to the top is talk,
Yeah. No,
talk,
100%.
keep
Oh,
talking.
so I looked it up. Abaddon, a place of destruction, underworld of lost souls, hell. And it says Abaddon is described as destroyer, the angel of the abyss. This is perfect. Make it happen.
That would work.
I just like the contradictory of it all. Like they, like because they're righteous and they're trying to fix her, and she's just kind of going along with it. I love
Yeah.
that.
Um, with this tag match, I really dug the beginning. Carly Bravo did something so small but significant to me where he opened it up
Mhm.
with kind of like his own little special handshake for Dutch. And for me, it was a great way to adhere to the code of honor
Yes.
without doing it in that yuck way. It wasn't a handshake. It was just kind of him doing his thing. I feel like
Yeah.
if he does that every week, just starts like dapping up all his opponents who have no idea what the hell he's doing. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. There's
I took
always ways. I feel like, what this show does, a lot of the wrestlers on the show, I know they do it in other companies too, but I guess because ROH is one of those shows that like we have a lot of criticisms on, and like we said before, it's either taped before or after an AEW show or whatever. These wrestlers, they make their minutes count. And they do these little things that make you notice them. Like you said, that little hand gesture. You're always going to be looking at that now. And like that's his thing. Like they come up with these little simple gimmicks and these little things that they do just so you keep your eye on them constantly. And I love that about them. I know most wrestlers, but here, like I think maybe because it's a smaller platform, you're able to see it more and appreciate it more.
Yeah, I can see that. I see that. And I think they also just kept finding fun ways to like stand out, which
Yeah.
is key. Which like and that they do it
Key.
all the time. All the time. Also with these two teams, it was a good contrast in styles. Um
Yes.
truth is, I wouldn't mind seeing these teams feud. Like these teams I feel like contradict but also complement each other so well, both in the ring and from a storytelling perspective. The infantry, they do like to play off of the fact that Sean Dean used to be in the armed services.
Yeah.
They're getting Hoorah involved in there. Maybe he
Hoorah.
has a problem. Maybe he has a problem with the way the righteous be ripping people off, which you know we can assume.
We're just assuming they rip
Just,
people off.
just assuming. Well, listen,
We're just assuming this now, guys. They just
I've
do
been
it.
watching the Righteous Gemstones a lot, so
So it's just stuck in your brain.
I'm just jumping to conclusions. I'm assuming that they've got a Baby Billy in their crew, and
Everybody
he's
needs an Uncle Baby Billy.
Bible bunkers.
Is it weird? Like I knew all the answers to that. I was very impressed. I was like, my mom would be so proud of me.
So I have one small complaint when it comes to we were talking about this trio, right? The infantry, Bravo, Sean,
Mhm.
Team Dora. I love that these are together. So it's not a complaint actually. It's just
Right.
something I would do
A
better
critique?
if I would do if I was booking.
Okay.
So the tag team had a match. Trish Adora as well had a match. In both of these matches, these people were scripted to lose. In my
Right.
opinion, putting them backstage in a segment with Lexi would have done all three of them just a load of good, especially since we've heard the infantry on the mic. We have not heard from Trish Adora as much. So I think it's just let the tag team talk about this match and let them talk themselves up. Let her talk to all three women
Yeah.
that she's going to get in the ring with. Let her introduce herself to anyone who's unfamiliar. And then that way there's just a bit of familiarity and also a bit of a safety net when they do lose their respective matches. Let's get to the ladies' four-way. It was a banger. Trish Adora, Kiera Hogan, Diamante, they all fell to the one and only Red Velvet, who is beginning to pick up some momentum heading into the tournament to crown the first ever TV Women's Champion.
I thought it was weird she won.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was really weird. I was okay with it, but I just thought it was weird. I think because of the other three, I feel like.
So I think you think that because.
I love Diamante.
No. One thing I love about ROH is it does kind of feel like an indie show that we're watching on TV.
Fair.
Because
Yeah.
you've seen so many of these people at indie shows.
So many. Oh,
Literally
yeah. For years.
This entire match.
This entire match we've seen numerous times on indie shows.
And Red Velvet is probably the one we've seen on the indies the least.
Yes, 100%.
So that's why I think you think that.
That makes sense. I could see that.
But for me, and this goes to why I think Trish and really any one of these women could have also benefited from a little interview time. The only one that did get an interview backstage was Red Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that was kind of like if it was more than him, I would have thought safety net, like, oh, some of these are protected. But it was just her. So in my mind, it was kind of like, hey, guys, Red Velvet's having a match. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
I kind of expected Red Velvet to come out of this solely because of that. Because the interview was less about the match and it was more about the statement the match was going to make. And the fact is, she's coming for that TV championship.
All three of them are so good.
So good. And you know what? This match, this promo, this night might have made me a believer that it might be Red Velvet.
I could see it. I could see it. She has a very different style than other wrestlers, I've noticed. In the ring and just like her presence. It's a very bubbly aspect of it that I haven't seen in a while, and it's a little refreshing.
I mean, here's what people forget. It probably should have been Red Velvet's time a while ago.
Yes.
Think about this. Jade Cargill, who made her Royal Rumble debut, she's on her way to becoming a huge star, it seems like. Her first match was with teaming up with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah.
Taking on Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that match was way better than it had any business being. And the women were a very big part of that. And Jade Cargill, that was her first match. So I have been always giving a lot of the credit to Red Velvet for that.
I thought that was
for Red Velvet. Then Red Velvet did great work when they teamed her up with Jade Cargill after Cargill had now become TBS champion. So now we're getting her a baddie squad. Red Velvet did great work there. I thought that feud really did a disservice to Red Velvet because, you know, Jade obviously wasn't close to dropping the title. So Red didn't get to really benefit at all. And then she kind of just went away. And now here we are. She's getting revived. So those are all the thoughts that are going to my head as I'm watching her get this good looking win tonight. So I think it might be her time now.
Her time is up. Her time is now. I like it.
You always have to say that, don't you?
Sorry, you say it. I can't help it.
I mean, listen, if it's not Red Velvet's time, it might be the Queen's time.
Yo. Let me tell you about this woman.
Tell me.
She, the past couple of weeks watching her on ROH, she has blossomed. When she was first coming out, I feel like, you know, she was sticking to the Queen. She was being very serious. She was being very tough in the ring. She came out today and it was like a whole new person, but the same person. Like she was like feeding off the crowd, interacting. She was wrestling. She was doing little dances, like, but not in a cheesy way where you're like, what is she doing? Like she was showing that she's the badass that she is. I loved watching her. And I love this progression of, you could tell she's more comfortable in the ring. She knows like the crowd is behind her, so she can feed off of them and interact with them in a playful way. It was fantastic. I loved watching this match.
Yeah, no, this was the fun one, and it's just I completely agree. To your credit, she has been getting better
Yeah,
every week. And you know what? So I've got this saying that it's hard to actually live up to this saying, but I always feel like in an ideal world, the first would be the worst and the best would always be the next, right? And that goes to anything. If it's a TV show, you want the first episode to eventually be the worst, right? Because you want every episode after it to be better. Same thing with appearances on a wrestling show. You kind of hope that the first time we see you overall is the worst because that means you're getting better every single time. I think
right.
that's what we've been seeing from her. She's just an absolute force.
I mean,
Just
she's getting like they were gonna push her. You could tell they were immediately gonna push her, and you know she was a little stoic coming out, wrestling, being tough, the whole nine, perfect. But tonight was really a moment where I was like, this woman knows who she is, is getting comfortable in the ring, is getting comfortable with everything. She was so comfortable in the ring. It was so delightful to watch her.
yeah, and Lisa Clark, to her credit, she still like she didn't look like a slouch. She looked like
Oh
a
no,
powerhouse who could probably take down almost anyone else on the roster. And I feel like that's what made Queen Aminata in this match look even better, look even stronger, look even more impressive. And I like it when the matches are against jobbers that look, you know, if you're having a big wrestler, a lot of times the jobber is going to be a smaller person. But
right.
I like it sometimes when it's very similar or even the other way, that
Almost,
way.
yeah, evenly matched. It was funny, I went to get, food real quick when I came up at the start of this match, and at first I thought it was Athena. I was like, "Oh my god, she's wrestling Athena," and then I was like, "Oh, no, wait," because I, like, glanced over real quick because it was on my phone, and I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, I like that they're putting her up against someone who looks like they can hold their own. It's not just some little skinny jobber, out of, like, grade school, like, it's actually someone tough that you look like that could beat her." You know she's not gonna beat her, but she could.
Right. Right. 100%. I dug this match. I
Me
want to
too.
see both women. Obviously, we're going to be
Yes.
seeing the Queen a lot. I want to see Lisa also. I'd like to see Lisa. I'd like to see what she can get, what she's got.
We just
Um,
we just can't have Queen Aminata go to AEW and be getting jobbed out or losing matches badly. I don't like that.
No. I'd like to see her, and if they do bring her to Dynamite or Rampage, and she does, I mean, if she's losing there, then she's probably losing to.
She did lose there a few times.
No, I've seen it, but I'm saying
Oh,
like
yeah.
she's been working with their top talent. Like she's
Ah,
not
yeah. She's
losing.
not losing to a
Yeah,
jobber. Yeah.
exactly. Like that's not going to happen there. So it does still bode well. I just hope they continue to talk about what her record is in Ring of Honor and how great she's doing down here. She can
Right.
theoretically win the TV championship though. And if that happens, I think we'd probably see her. Ironically enough, we'd probably see her on AEW television a lot more than we do now. If it's not the Queen, it could be Billy Starks, another lady who staked her claim. Is it staked? I'm gonna go with staked. She staked her claim.
Claim you stake it, right? Like
Right. Staked her
STAKE.
claim for that TV title. Everyone's getting ready with the tournament on the way. Billy Starks. Now, Nyla Rose was after Billy Starks.
She
I
was.
don't know why she didn't look for her in the ring when she had her match.
She
But
got distracted.
you think? She
Yeah,
seemed
she probably
pretty.
heard Dalton Castle whining again in the basement and wanted to go check it out.
That's so possible. Dalton Castle is really killing it.
I mean, he's ridiculous.
Like he's killing it though. The whole like everything. The show started. We didn't even get the music. We didn't even get the intro. The show starts and distraught Dalton Castle is backstage. Lexi has him cornered. He's got a trash can in his hand, and he is inviting her to watch him smash Johnny TV's face. Johnny TV catches him with Jerry Lynn. Like the whole thing was preposterous. But
I mean,
it does lead us to Johnny TV is facing Dalton Castle's friend next week.
who may I ask, who was the first person that popped in your head when he said that?
Honestly,
I'm gonna tell you mine, and it's so weird, and it makes no sense, but it was the first thing. But you tell me yours first.
Okay, I'm glad you've got a weird one because mine's in. I mean,
Super weird.
it's insane. It's weird, but it's also basic. I think he's going to be his friend. Like I
Oh,
think
you think it's gonna be him?
he's just gonna wear a fucking disguise.
Oh my god, I hope he wears the glasses with the nose and the mustache.
Yeah, I think I.
All right, yours is much weirder than mine.
Oh, is it? Okay, who do you think of?
He's gonna come out with like a monocle, and that's gonna be that's how you're gonna know he's different. He's gonna be he's gonna be a female peacock that are like brown and ugly. It's gonna be very confusing to everybody.
But yeah, first thing I thought.
What?
That.
Oh, I thought you said something else. My bad.
No.
Mine is super, super weird. It makes no sense. But the first person that popped in my head was Marco's stunt. I have no idea, right? It was so weird. He's like, yeah, he's new to wrestling. And I'm like, who's new to wrestling? I'm like, Marco stunt is not new to wrestling, but why is he popping in my head? So I needed to tell you this on the show that Marco stunt was the person that popped in my head.
Well, that's fucking hilarious.
Isn't that weird?
I mean, it was just the whole, it seemed very obvious, like he was just making stuff up. It seemed very obvious he had no friend in mind, but he's the one that pitched this email to Jerry Lynn suggesting that he have a friend face Johnny TV.
When Lexi went back and she's like, I'm not his babysitter. I was fucking peeing myself. And then she's like, where are your shoes? Why don't you have shoes on?
And he uses his feet to wave. Hi, Lexi.
Yo, she keeps a straight face. She's the real MVP, like I've said before.
Seriously.
She really is.
Dalton Castle's turned into one of those characters from like a 90s sitcom where like you remember Cody Lambert. Like
Cody Lambert, that's who you're comparing him to?
Well, no, because like you watch it and like it's okay. Cody's kind of supposed to be high all the time, but also he's not because it's a 90s sitcom, so they would never acknowledge that. I almost feel like Dalton Castle is like on a bender, but they're not gonna just come out and say he's on a bender. But like this guy, he got rolled to the ring in like a dumpster, a laundry chute or whatever the hell that was.
He's like friggin' Marla Hooch in League of Their Own. I'm singing a Nelson, ain't I, babe? That's how I feel. He's just on a crazy drunk bender. I hope he's the friend. Though I would like to see somebody else. I don't know who off the top of my head, but yeah, if he comes out in disguise, that would be hilarious. With just like a little mustache and glasses. That'd be so funny.
It has to be.
Yeah, right? It has to be him. Who else could it be?
Even
what is he gonna say? Call himself Walton Wassel?
Even if he does, that's amazing. Even if he does actually like produce a friend, I don't think that friend would fit the description that he said because he was clearly making that shit up. Like he doesn't go to the school. Oh, he's new to wrestling.
Oh, that was great. He doesn't go here. I was like, yes. Right.
So it's like maybe he just gets a random guy to face Johnny TV so that Johnny TV will just be
he's gonna come out as Ronnie Radio. And he's gonna wrestle Johnny TV.
Okay. I'm glad you finished that because it went right over my head until
because he's gonna be a radio. What's the opposite of a TV? A radio, right? I would think so.
But video killed the radio star.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think Dalton Castle's winning that match. I'm sorry, excuse me. I don't think Ronnie Radio is winning that match.
Well, then why would you book this? Damn it, Danielle. We wanted to
see. You think Dalton Castle's gonna win
against Johnny TV? I do.
Not yet.
Yes, he gets his win. Oh, I don't know when the match is gonna happen, but when it happens, I think we get a win.
But if he's wrestling as his new friend, he's not winning.
No. If he wrestles as his friend, the match isn't gonna happen. Johnny TV is gonna like take off the disguise and say no, flag.
Or I would love it if they played into it that Johnny didn't know he was in disguise and he's like, who's this guy? That would make me laugh so much if he just played into it and they took off it's like Superman. He took off his glasses and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, it's Superman. Oh, now it's Clark Kent. That'd be hilarious. Now I want this to happen. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to be very upset if it's not in Dalton Castle.
I hope it's Marco's stunt.
What isn't that such a weird person that popped in my head? Like he's not new to wrestling, but for some reason I was like Marco Stunt. He's talking about Marco.
Speaking of weird, though, can we talk about this? When did it become okay for the boys to just like change?
What do you mean?
Those
Like
weren't
be
the
completely.
boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
AEW when Dalton Castle came out during World's End, those were not the boys either.
right.
Maybe they were busy. Oh my god, I know what's gonna happen. The boys are gonna form one giant boy like Station from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and they're gonna be his new friend who's wrestling Johnny TV. I solved it.
When she asked him what his height was, he did kind of put the hand
That's
up
it. I did it.
before eventually like
I
bringing it
cracked the
down.
case.
So
Danielle, Detective Dan, the storyline sleuth, is at it again, bro.
he went
I
up,
did
he
it.
went down. That could be a sign that one guy ends here, but the other guy's gonna be on his shoulders. He's gonna end here.
I did it. I saved the day. I did it.
Yeah,
I solved the mystery.
You might have done it. You might have done it.
But I really don't know why they changed them. They must not be around, I guess. But that's so weird. Why wouldn't they be around?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. I wonder if maybe this is a thing that's just happening because he's so distraught that
The
they
baffled
can't
boys don't know what to do.
they can't even bear it. Like they can't be around it. Like he's pushed everyone away.
The baffled boys were unbearable.
I wasn't a fan of this week's replacement boys. They didn't. I mean, maybe it's just for me. The real winners of this whole switch out the boy situation is in fact the boys, because I hope people are taking notice of the fact that of how good they were at what most people probably thought is a simple job. I mean, look here, you're subbing them out like it's Corey's little sister on Boy Meets World. It's subbing her out like Aunt Viv. You're subbing them out like.
Does Corey's sister change in Boy Meets World?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, Morgan.
I think I knew this, but I don't remember.
She disappears for like an entire season. They bring her back with a completely different actress, and the joke, like when she comes down and she's like, I feel like I've been grounded forever. And then everyone laughs. And that's like the only reference to the fact that she's a completely different person now.
I wish you can use Family Matters as a thing, but she went upstairs and just never came back.
Never came back. But Family Matters did eventually pull an Aunt Viv. Harriet got replaced in the last season.
She did?
Not even the full season, like the last 8 episodes.
Are you lying to me?
I'm not lying. Look this up. I'm
gonna look it up.
When Family Matters ends, and I hope our Ring of Honor viewers.
You're welcome, everyone.
Enjoy Family Matters throwbacks. But yeah, when Family Matters ends, Harriet is completely changes like mid-season. And the worst part about it was that by this point, it was obviously the Steve Urkel show. So you could have just made a lot of episodes around Steve and Lisa and Eddie and yada, yada, even Carl. But no, they chose those specific episodes with a new Harriet to make episodes specifically about their marriage. So it was really she had to do heavy hitting for no reason. It was so stupid, horrible. They Aunt Viv this.
This makes me very upset. I don't like any of this.
Hey, it happens. It does.
I will say I like both Aunt Vivs. I'm not gonna lie. I like them both.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. We digress.
We
don't like the new boys. We like the old boys, the OG boys.
Maybe this is a setup where when Dalton Castle finally gets his matchup with Johnny TV, he finally gets his boys back.
Yeah, but they've helped him before when he was being distraught.
Yeah, but he keeps pushing them away and throwing cheese at them.
Why would he throw cheese at the boys? That's not nice.
Talking to them using his dirty toes.
Ew, why do you have to go there?
Well, that's what he did with Lexi.
Hi, Lexi. Dalton's wild.
Dalton is wild. Not as wild as the fact that we did not, for the first time in a while, get our Ring of Honor TV champion.
Oh my God, I was going to bring that up. Where is he? Where'd he go?
You know what? He probably's got other stuff to do. We did get our tag team champions, though.
Look, you brought them back to life, Brady. This is really great.
Thank
You
goodness.
did it. You saved the day.
And with our ROH tag team champions comes a new stipulation. If you are facing them in a tag team match,
You have to make out.
I don't believe that's a stipulation.
Oh.
I didn't announce that anyway.
Got it.
No, if you last 10 minutes with the champs, then you will get or win, of course. But if you last 10 minutes with the champs, you will get a tag team title shot.
I love this. But aren't you already in the middle of a tag team title shot?
No, that match was non-title.
Oh, I don't like non-title matches.
Well, this kind of makes them okay, in my opinion.
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
Real quick, Goth Vegan in the live chat. Supposedly, OG Harriet left because it became the Steve Urkel show.
Oh, that's what you just said. It became the Steve Urkel show.
Right. I mean, but the fact that it became the Steve Urkel show kind of fucking saved the show. Like, that show became huge because of that, and it was probably going to get canceled in its second season if it did.
Also, Goth Vegan, shout out for loving Family Matters and talking about Family Matters with us on our ROH show.
Yeah,
shout out.
We're happy to get more TGIF talk involved here. We could go all day.
That could be our new podcast.
Hang on,
multiple.
Hang on, Mr. Cooper. It was getting a lot of love from Cat Williams. We could talk to them about that a little
bit. We'll do that next. Each episode, we're gonna talk about another 90s sitcom. We're gonna refer to someone as a 90s sitcom character.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We got to do it now. You said 2 by accident this time. Well, 3, but 4. So, you said 4. You jumped the gun.
I didn't realize this was gonna be a weekly thing. I really emptied the can. So, reason why this match and this stipulation rather is making me disagree with your take about if the tag team champions are having a match, it should be for the title. We spoke a few weeks ago about how the Infantry and Shane Taylor Promotions kind of got put over as contenders for the tag team titles because they main evented. So why would Tom Lawlor and Fred Rosser, not even a tag team, if anything, they've got more beef with each other than they do with the tag champs. Why would they just stumble into a tag team championship match? It wouldn't make sense to me. 100%. It wouldn't feel right when they have so many other tag teams that have been proving themselves every week. So I like the fact that this stipulation is out there, because I think it's good for teams that maybe don't deserve a shot just yet, but also it gives singles wrestlers who aren't in a team with people a reason to say, hey, bro, what are you doing tonight? Yo, you want to go for it? Let's go for it. Who doesn't want it?
Can we get Ethan Page and Sky, please? Thanks. I don't care about Ethan Page. I don't care about Ethan Page's story. Take a break for a week.
I mean, I kind of hate that they've already come out and said, yeah, we're not going to go for tag gold. We're going for singles gold.
Yeah, but come on, bro.
I guess.
I would also like to see the ROH champion on the show. That'd be nice.
Oh my God, Eddie Kingston watch. We got to put him on milk cartons.
Yeah, where is he? Where'd he go?
He went to every other company because he has 3 belts now. This it's been the worst thing for Ring of Honor ever.
Yeah, just drop the title, bruh. Just drop it, bro.
So I really did like this match a lot. I think the stipulation added to it, but Rosser and Lawlor really helped. Because they had their history, they've had their feud, they've had their matches, and commentary did a great job of putting that over. But I also love how they started the match, where they smacked each other in the face, seemingly as hard as they could. Then they shook each other's hands. Boom. I would have liked it better if they followed the handshake by hitting the tag champs, but no, of course, the champs had to get the upper hand, which kind of made our challengers look a little silly for shaking hands after the bell had already rung. But
that's because they should have kissed.
What is up with you?
What? I just want people to kiss. It's nice.
Okay.
It's better than that stupid handshake. Stupid.
I think they slap in the face,
They have a.
psych each
They
other
should
up.
have a. They should
If
have a kiss.
they would
A
have
kiss
psyched
of
each other,
honor. They should have a kiss of honor and kiss each other.
they kissed. They would not have been motivated to beat up other people.
I mean, if one had really chapped lips, I bet.
Okay, so this match did a great job of furthering the feud with Ross and Lawler, in my opinion. But
Yeah, definitely.
it also added like an intriguing story to an intriguing match where you're kind of at first like, why is this happening? Oh, this is why it's happening. Because okay, wow, that's cool. So I thought it was a lot of fun. They came off as ass kickers, and like nobody came out of this match looking weak.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nobody looked weak, and yeah, I agree with you completely about how they're kind of starting the story for Tom, and I'm gonna say Tom and Fred because it's fun saying their first names. Um, so I think that's really cool that they started it that way, like you said, because it wasn't for a title match. Like they could do it in a different way and have it progress their storyline and hopefully progress a storyline and maybe a feud or have them join forces and become tag partners, but tag partners that hate each other.
Danielle, Goth Vegan is with you. All matches should end with a kiss.
See
Says,
what I'm saying? See,
listen.
Goth vegan is my new friend.
All right, so maybe we should start a petition to get the code of honor replaced with the kiss of
Kiss
honor.
of honor. Why not? It's so cute. It would be so nice being like, all right, and then I wouldn't get annoyed with it because they'd be like, be nice.
I think a lot of wrestlers are gonna get sucker punched. Throwing that, I think this was
No, that'd be nice kiss, like a nice sweet one. Like,
dude, you're sick. You're a sick puppy.
what do you mean? I'm not telling them to full out make out in the middle of the ring. Just a nice
I think
kiss.
you are.
No.
You want it to start with a peck and then a warm embrace, and then you want
Warm embrace. You know how I feel about hugs.
and you want a jazz band to play in the background, a
Only
smooth
jazz
sax.
flute.
No, you want that sax. I know you do.
I want that what? Oh, a sax. I thought you said something
Sax.
different.
No.
Hey, I'm just trying to liven up this a bit. I think it would be fun. What? I'm helping.
Listen, I don't know if you are, but I will sign the petition. I will sign the petition. I've got your back, okay?
Hey.
People want to kiss each other. I'm not going to stand in the way of love.
I mean, God vegan, she gets me.
She does. She certainly does.
They get me.
Yeah, I love that we're getting the Undisputed Kingdom on the show. I do wish it didn't now feel like they're kind of just spinning the wheel and seeing which champion they're going to get on the show this week.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Give me all the champions. I like to see champions.
I mean, Athena's not on the show, hasn't been in a couple weeks. Fletcher's not on the show this week. We'll give him a pass because he's been defending it every week rather.
Yeah.
Kingston hasn't been on the show since he won the Triple Crown. So and our 6-man tag champions, they're not on the show. So it's frustrating because you want to care about.
I'm gonna sound like an idiot. Who's the 6-man champs? I
mean, listen, I have heard you sound like an idiot. That was not one of those times. That sounded like you needed to know the answer. It's Jay White and
yes.
And the Guns. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang is in full effect right now.
Yeah. I knew this now.
Yeah.
Because I knew there were new ones. I just couldn't remember who.
Right. And listen.
Yeah, where's Jay White? I'll look at Jay White. I mean, watch Jay White.
Yeah. Like that would be fun. But alas, I did appreciate getting the Undisputed Kingdom on here.
Definitely.
You guys are such a good tag team. Like, so good. I did really get into some of those near falls at the end. Yes.
No, I'm just saying, like Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, this isn't their first rodeo. They've been together forever, and I feel like they complement each other so well in the ring, and they really they look like champions, and they wrestle like champions, and they wrestle like tag partners, and that's so nice to see.
And Filthy Lawler and Fred Rosser, they also were they really held their own. Rosser, in commentary, did a great job reminding people, but he is, of course, a tag team specialist. He's been tag team champion before. He's not new to this. Him and Lawler have great chemistry from facing each other. So it was good that they were able to work it here, and they were believable in their near falls at time. And the timer really also played in a role into the end of like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, well, yeah, get it.
The commentating team, even though I don't like, what's his name?
What?
Who's the commentator I don't like? Caprice?
You don't like a commentator?
Yeah,
No.
what's his name? Caprice? Is that his name?
Stallman. Yes.
Yeah, minus him. I do what I've noticed on ROH that they try to do in other shows that I think they fail, and I think they succeed in ROH is the storytelling of the commentating. Like they really tell you, like it's almost like they know you don't know some of these people and aren't familiar with them, so they give you enough backstory about them so you know like what's going on and who they are and what they stand for and like their history so you can either root for them or root against them. And I've noticed that with this commentating team, they do a very good job at explaining who people are.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. They're they they have a lot of the history at their fingertips also, so they're
Yes.
constantly able to educate us about history
Correct.
that they had with here and what they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that and it helps tell a story and it helps you decide whether or not you're going to root for a team or not or a wrestler or not. And I think that's very helpful because there's times when I was watching stuff and they're just saying certain things, and sometimes in other wrestling companies I feel like I gloss over that a little bit and it's not as I'm not intently listening to them, where here I am intently listening to them because I think they're providing me with information I don't normally know.
Yeah. The only thing is they were making such a big deal about it being close to the timer. We didn't get to see the timer. So
Yeah,
next
give me that
time,
time.
as it gets at least to like at past 9:30, or if you want to throw it up every few minutes, I would do that. Our main event did not need a timer though. It was big shotty Lee Johnson getting the win on Jack Cartwheel, Alex Zane, and Blake Christian. This was high flying. This was fast paced. This was action packed. Danielle, what'd you think?
I popped so hard for Alex Zane. Apparently, he hasn't been in ROH in like 2 years. I
Yeah, I
popped.
don't know why they didn't give him an entrance.
Yeah, right.
He
Oh,
didn't-
I popped really hard for Alex Zane. I love Alex Zane.
Yeah, he's all that and a
And a
bag of
bag
chips.
of potato. Oh, a bag of potato chips.
Yeah, I thought Alex Zane really stood out. I also thought Blake Christian really stood out.
Yo, Blake Christian is fantastic. He's
He
so
does a
fantastic.
he does a great job of being so visually impressive with his style while also being hated consistently as a heel.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah,
He feeds off of that. Like it gives him super strength.
I think that's what's happening to the fucking sponge on his head. Like the more strength he gets, that thing just fucking grows.
Yes, that's where it all absorbs. Sponge on his head. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, he's really fun to watch and he really like he's another one how we talked about these little things and really maximizing your minutes and getting like he does these little things that you look for because you know he's a heel and he loves pissing the crowd off and doing stuff like that. I love it.
I thought there. So remember, when I said this kind of feels like we're watching a televised indie show because we've seen all these guys
Mhm.
constantly wrestling indie shows, and then it's like when you watch those matches, you kind of always think it's like, yo, these guys are doing some pretty creative spots. Like I hope they
Yeah.
bring them to TV. I feel like that's what we saw here. These spots are like straight out of those indie matches that we've seen in arenas and we've seen in basements.
Oh yeah.
Like
I've
legit,
seen these guys. I've seen these guys wrestle in a backyard 1,000 times. And
right?
that's not an insult. That's
No, that's
nostalgia and something I
yeah, we've
know and
seen
I'm
it.
aware
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought like just they played with each other so well where one guy's standing on the other guy and then he flips over that guy and then that guy, you know what I mean? It was just
Right.
yeah, it was everything was happening all at once. You had to pay attention. So creative. They all four really thought outside the box with their spots.
Yeah. All of them are really fun to watch. Jack Cartwheel, I'm really starting to like more. I mean, I do like him, but I'm really starting to watch him more and appreciate all his wrestling.
No, cartwheels.
He's fun.
I love his innovation because it's like
Yeah.
it's one thing you just okay, I'm Jack Cartwheel, I do a cartwheel, but it's like no, he finds different ways to make the cartwheel make sense, to incorporate a cartwheel in a different maneuver. I'm still freaking out over the he did a cartwheel dragon screw, and I just never
Yeah.
I was like, yo, he does cartwheel power slams. Like,
Off the
I
turnbuckle, like all that stuff. Yeah.
like the innovation is really what blows my mind, where it's always impressive. It always makes sense. It always looks, like I said, visually impressive. It's just, this match was awesome. And Shotty Lee Johnson getting a big main event victory.
I love him.
I
Him and
mean,
Lee Moriarty, I've been telling you. I love them.
I mean, before we wrap up, I just got to ask, like, I'm happy for Shotty Lee. Awesome. But where does this, like, what does it get him?
He's
Like,
gonna have a match with Kyle Fletcher.
will he? I mean, we saw Shane Taylor Promotions win that match, that tag team main event. They have not faced our tag team champions.
Yes, but this is Kyle Fletcher.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say yeah.
I guess, is that your prediction this week for the
next?
You throwing Shotty Lee in the mix?
Are we doing predictions, or are we? Oh, do we always do predictions and then who we want?
To our list of who we think it is. I mean,
yeah. Shotty Lee. Let's do it.
I'm just kicking it to it, but this is your question.
I know. Yeah, let's do it. Lee Johnson, adding to the list.
Shotty Lee. Okay.
Are you adding someone?
Of course I will add someone. What, am I not allowed to answer the question?
Nope. Now, the more important question is, when this person faces Kyle Fletcher, and if they do lose, do they still kiss?
All right. So I am going to throw... I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball.
I like it. Is it Marco Stunt?
Yeah. How'd you know? So I'm going to throw Fred Rosser.
Ooh.
I think like, we haven't really seen him too much in the ROH AEW bubble. More of his involvement via like New Japan. So I think seeing him here, I think this was an impressive showing, but I don't necessarily think he's a tag team guy now. I think he's still very much a singles wrestler. I think, why not? I think they could easily throw that match together as another chance to look at them both. And I think it'll be a fun one. So yeah. And no, I don't think they kiss afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That makes me sad.
That is gonna do it for us, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting with us. Be sure to tune in every single Thursday as soon as Ring of Honor finishes. Be sure to support all the shows on BodySlam.com network at SlamChats.com with your donations. Hit them likes, hit them subscribes, tune into every single BodySlam.net post show that they got on the network. Guys, we are the heel marks. You are the best, and we are just trying to be like you.